Ladies, join me in welcoming Isabella Adedeji with a round of applause. Let's do it. Let's do it. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Okay, am I using the mic?
Yes.
Okay. Please, can I start from the first slide? So the topic I was giving is the new media, the effective deployment of public speaking in storytelling. So I'm sure you listened to my bio. I was once a teacher and I still teach on air. So I'm just going to pick one or two people and I want to know what your expectation is just looking at this topic. So I'll start with the lady in orange. So you say your name and your expectation.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Orobusa. From the topic, I'm expecting to learn how to communicate effectively while speaking in public and really be able to communicate what I want and what I think the audience should know.
I'm the founder and managing director of Yellow Tamarind Productions, and we've created our own TV and radio productions. We've also worked for clients and created their own productions. And I'm also a media personality, so sometimes you might catch me on rubbing minds, like they said in the bio, or hosting my own show, or hosting an event, training. And my background while I was in Nestle was in PR, so I still do that. So move to the next slide. Today we are learning to, one, make effective presentations. I mean, you can speak all the English you want, you can put all the nice graphics, you can use all the hand gesticulations, have a nice background, but if your presentation is not effective and your message hasn't been delivered, you haven't engaged your audience, then really all those niceties do not count for much. And then the second thing is we're deploying storytelling in public speaking. Now, it's important that we pay attention to public speaking because you never know where you're going to be called to maybe represent a group. So, for example, here at this training, right? Maybe tomorrow they'll say, oh, we need one person to come and give a speech on behalf of everybody else. And on the third day, you might have other people in the room that you did not see on the first day or the second day. So how are you going to be prepared if you've not invested in your public speaking? There are other times, whether it's in church or the mosque, you might be called upon, or in your office or in your school. So public speaking is a skill that I believe everybody should have because you never know when you're going to be called to either make a speech or do a presentation. So next slide. Features of an effective presentation. So my slides are not that many. I want it to be practical. There are 2 class activities that we're going to do because at the end of the day, anybody can go on AI, go to Google, ask Gemini, ChatGPT, and pull up really nice slides. But if you leave this place and you've not worked on your courage, for example, you've not gotten practical tips that you can say, okay, when next I'm being called, I can do this and that, then there's really no point. And for you to be here, you've sacrificed your time, and it's important that you get value. So the features of an effective presentation: emotional appeal. You know, when we're communicating, we're trying to get to the emotions of the people we're communicating to. We're not just trying to engage them on a surface level. When we think about church or the mosque, when our pastor or imam is speaking, they're not just reading something out from the holy book. Anybody can do that. But they are also trying to get to your emotions. They're trying to engage with you. They're trying to connect with you on a deeper level. And to have an effective presentation, there needs to be something that presentation is speaking to, right? Because when you do a presentation and it's going to be effective, you must have done your research to have an idea of the kind of people you are speaking to. So if you know who your target audience is, you need to find a way to connect with them emotionally. It might be talking about their pain points. So if you have students, for example, you're addressing them, what's a pain point that can connect emotionally to a student?
Okay, so you said you are speaking to a student, what's the pain point that can connect to them? Okay, you can take a topic on examination malpractice, and then you tell the students the effect of examination malpractice, why they shouldn't do that, and then the results, that the after effect of examination malpractice. And then probably you can tell them a story about, an event that has happened, and then the consequences and how it played out.
So that can definitely connect with a student, especially if you have an example of a time you know someone who might have engaged in exam malpractice and as a result maybe got suspended, had to stay 1 year in school, or had to just leave the institution. So the next thing is evidence. Evidence, very important. You take the microphone or you set up your camera and you start to speak. The people who are listening to you, the people who are watching you, they must believe that you must have something that they don't have. That's why they want to tune in to hear what you're saying. They've almost given you that power that for this person to take the microphone, she must know something or he must know something. And you have to back up your claims with evidence. And effective presentation needs evidence. So evidence should fool everywhere. Now, rhetorical strategies. Yes, a question that does not need an answer. And we see this employed in public speaking to emphasize a point. So a rhetorical question is a question you ask and you don't need an answer, right? Okay, so sometimes you can say, is it not the same Nigeria we're in? I know we're in Nigeria, you know we're in Nigeria, but perhaps I'm buttressing a point, like maybe we strike up a conversation and you're telling me about the price of petrol or the price of bread. And I'm telling you, is this not the same Nigeria we're in? I'm also buttressing what you're saying. I'm not expecting you to respond and tell me that yes, it's the same Nigeria. But I've made you understand that this thing, I'm also feeling it as well. We're in this same situation together. So rather than just talking all the time, you can find ways to include rhetorical questions, so rhetorical strategies. And the last one is call to action. Why do you think a call to action is important in a speech, in a presentation, or maybe a piece of content?
Okay, because it tells your audience what to do.
The call to action is important because at the end you expect the audience to like give back to you. It kind of, it's more like an assessment thing where you can tell if this person really heard you, understood what you were doing, or yeah, it's like an assessment.
Please give the both of them a round of applause. Those are two excellent points. You have a call to action because at the end of the day, let's use new media. You finish and putting in hours of writing a script, you've told a story, you've done editing, you've done nice graphics, and at the end, you've passed on a valuable message. One of the things you can say as your call to action is what? Like, share, forward, right? You don't want it to end at 3 views. You want more people to watch it. You want more people to engage with the content. So you might actually put that call to action to ensure that it reaches more people. Another reason why you put that call to action is another way to reiterate some of the things you have said. So you know how we do in debates. With these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you that emotion, art subjects are better than science subjects. So the call to action is another way to reinforce all the things that you have said and to even test whether the audience has been following along, because a call to action might be based on what you have said in that presentation. And if the people were not paying attention, they might have to go back and watch it so they know. Or you just find out right there and then that these people were not paying attention, right? So that's why it's important to have a call to action. So I'm just going to wait for my slides to come back up. It's very important that when we're doing presentations, whether it's public speaking, a piece of content for radio, for television, a live stream, that we employ these various strategies. It makes it a more delightful, more robust, a more interesting piece of content. So I'll move to the next slide, because I don't want to spend too much time on the slides. I want us to get to the class activity. And I already love the way that when I bring the microphone, whether or not you're expecting it or you're looking away, you're still willing to engage, because that's the most important thing, that you are able to make this work for you. You're able to personalize it and take what works. So move. Okay. Effective presentation 101. It doesn't happen by chance. You know, the effective presentations are carefully planned. Now, I can put more steps, but I've decided to condense it into 3 steps. And if you notice, with all my slides, with the exception of 1 or 2, I try not to populate it with too much information, because what you don't also want is everybody's mind is focused on trying to read like 20 different things, and they're now not able to pay attention, they're not able to think or even answer questions. So I already alluded to the first thing, which is knowing your audience. 1, I knew my audience were going to be filled with young people, right? It's a mix of young women. So the kind of content I'm going to use are content that are related to my target audience. Even, okay. I think because of the recording, okay. Even down to the graphics I used. So I did this on Canva, and Canva had some other illustrations, and I just thought to myself, this is a presentation for young women. They need to be able to identify with it. So if I see probably a man in the graphics, I removed it because I'm not addressing a mixed crowd. So something as little as that is the same way when we're doing presentations, especially when we're using graphics or we're using illustrations, and you know your primary audience are made up of Black people. Try to find footage of Black people. It's important, if you're addressing children, try to look at the colors that will appeal to children. So knowing your audience is so important, because it's the little things. Everyone say little things. It's the little things, really. If I was doing the same presentation for children, I probably will have fewer text on each slide. So I'll probably have more colors, and then I might have an activity every 2 or 3 slides to get them to stand up, to engage, and not to lose their attention. But I can only do that if I know my audience. So whenever you have the opportunity, do your research. Find out the people you're going to be talking to, you're presenting to. Even if it's social media, you can go on the back end, you can see insights, you can see, is my audience primarily male or female, the demographic, and then you can structure your content. The next thing is, of course, doing the hard work, creating the content. So whether it's a speech that you need to actually write and then you're going to read it, whether it's a PowerPoint presentation, or whether it's you going on a TV or a radio show to present it, you have to create the content. So you can do a video that talks about everything you want to talk about, and you put effects to make it engaging. So let's use that as an example. We want to do a video of everything we want to talk about and use effects. So we're creating a video content, and it has to do with the empowerment of women in society. So if you had that brief, I'm going to give you 100,000 naira to create a video that has to do with the empowerment of women in society, how would you approach it? We'll go to the market. So that means we've selected a location, right? We'll have our equipment. We'll have the people that we've identified that we want to engage. Because in the market, you also have market men, right? You have other traders, but you've targeted your audiences, market women, and you want to help them, you want to empower them, you want to give them knowledge on how they can improve. So you know that these are the people I want. I'm going to ensure that they're inside my frame. I'm going to address them. I'm going to get it recorded. And just like she said, I'm going to now use effects. So whichever piece of content, whether it's video, a PowerPoint presentation, you actually have to do the work. Thankfully, there's AI, right? So we can use Gemini, ChatGPT, and there are so many other things. But beyond AI, you also have other people. You can reach out to your friend or your sister or your brother or your colleague and ask them, oh, I'm thinking of doing this video. What do you think? And they can also share ideas. Another way you can develop content is by looking at what is already on the internet, what is already on television, on the radio, and think, oh, I like this. You write it down. But I think I can improve on it. And like that, you dedicate the time to create the content. Now, since it's about public speaking, and I love how even before I started my slides, I went around the room and 3 people said what their expectations were. And one of it was speaking with confidence. Because even if you're not really sure about what you're saying, but you say it confidently, the people who are listening to you, they might suspend their disbelief for a while and say, the way the person is so confident, the person must really know what they are saying. So storytelling in public speaking. This point already engaged some of the things I've been saying. Like 1, it engages emotions and intellect. So I brought 2 different people because I wanted you to know that you can use different styles. Your style might not be gra-gra and plenty gesticulation, but you will still communicate with your voice, with the content that you are using. And there's some that is the drama, the confidence, the bragado. But the most important thing is you are engaging with them emotionally and intellectually. Number 2, we're creating memorable connections. Again, those examples, you saw techniques. Someone was connecting with what the person was saying. And when you select those topics yourself and someone starts talking, some of you will be like yes or no, or you even be trying to add to the conversation. That's because you feel connected to the person. We're all women here, so there are certain things that we'll start talking about that immediately will feel connected to each other. Like I can see a nursing mother here. There might be something I might say, and because we're both mothers, we can connect on that level. So it's important that we know our audience, so we see ways we can create that memorable connection. Number 3, simplifying complex ideas. There are so many things out there that look so hard, but sometimes when we use a story to illustrate a point, it makes it so much easier. In fact, we'll remember the story before we start remembering the definitions, before we start remembering everything that was said. So we use storytelling to make complex things very simple. And then storytelling also encourages empathy and understanding. When she started, the second speaker, and said, look, it was very humbling, meaning that before this time, I thought, I was all that, because after all, I have the degree to back it up. But you know what? Wow, I've learned a lot. It's not only about having the degree. There's a science to it, there's an art to it. It's about the techniques. And by sharing that experience, I'm sure if I ask another person to come up, the person might feel like, you know what, this person already put herself out there. It's a safe space. Me too, I can also share that, you know what, me too, I do not really know, but thankfully, I've learned. In fact, I've learned from the person sitting next to me. That was so powerful. And then it drives action and motivate change. You know, when we're saying do a video, this lady was saying about going to the market, you know, having a presentation for them and getting them to learn how to empower themselves. And that's the thing with storytelling. At the heart of it, you want there to be action. You want there to be some change. When she had that idea of going to the market, it wasn't just, let's just go there and do something so that we can have a video. It was that, you know what, by getting these people here, share their stories on camera, we teach them things, we engage with them, Q&A. You know, it's an opportunity for them to take action, to better themselves, and as a result, to see change in society. Next slide. So I want us to look at examples when it comes to using storytelling. We have vlogs and YouTube storytelling. So when we think about vlogs, can somebody give me an example of a vlog we've watched? We might not have done one ourselves, but a vlog. A day in the life of a Nollywood producer. Ooh, I love that. Anyone else? Travel vlogs. What?
Outing vlogs.
Outing vlogs. Like, hey guys, hello Instafam. I'm right here at the museum, and we're going to see this, we're going to see that, right? Okay. And then YouTube storytelling, like, hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do this, we're going to do that, right? Okay. So please give me a topic, and I want to come from here. Just any topic. An example of a vlog or YouTube storytelling that you want to see happen now. Any topic. Just a topic.
A day with a actress.
Okay. So a day maybe in the life of an actress, or a day. Who's your favorite actress?
Odunlade Adekola.
Odunlade Adekola. Okay, come. Please give her one round of applause. So who is doing the vlog? Okay, you are doing the vlog. Okay. You are Odunlade Adekola. So you know how he acts, right? So if they ask you a question, you are Odunlade Adekola. And then she is here, maybe it's our YouTube, or which platform are you doing this vlog for?
It's on TikTok.
TikTok. So all those people that do challenge, you set your ring light, or how are you going to do it?
Like
Okay,
day,
just come.
how you start your day.
Okay.
Like,
So the brief now is that you are doing this vlog because you are in the day, a day with an actor, a day with an actor. And the actor is Odunlade Adekola. So obviously you are going to speak to Odunlade, and Odunlade will tell us one or two things and everything. So next is the podcasting and audio storytelling. So a lot of times we rely on visuals. Like, I'm here, I'm looking at my slides, you are seeing me, I'm seeing you, and we can engage. I can come and say, oh, the lady wearing orange or something. But sometimes our audience do not have that opportunity to see us. Maybe they just listen to us on radio, or they listen to us on a podcast. Or it might be a video podcast, but they are just only listening in their ears. Maybe they are doing other things. So, okay, the last one, live streaming and social media. I just hope that you are taking down the points that are relevant to you. For some people, it's about how to address the audience. It's about how to structure your content. It's about, when I get up there, what do I need to do? Do I need to use my hands? Do I need to come into the audience? Do I need to, take a bold stance, and not be doing like, I don't know what I'm doing. How I project my voice, very important. So can we go to the next slide? The important thing is to use storytelling. We've talked about why using storytelling is important. You have seen other people, not me, because I've brought out people in this class, and without even telling them, they use storytelling. You've all engaged, you've asked questions, you've shared. Please, can I go back to my slides? I don't know if we have time for one question, probably not. So it's just left for me to say a big, big thank you to everyone.